Welcome back, and we are continuing our stream of the ESL Canyon Endurance Premiership, and we are now watching Group A.
Yes, we are.
And together again with Hacker and me, Hagesmurf. Are all the players there?
I think everyone who will be there is there by now. As I told the chat already, Team Durex is missing, second week in a row.
Yeah, Furix is not here. And is every team complete? I don't think so. I see Minigod has to drive alone.
Sadly, he has to. The other team members found something else to do this Sunday.
And last week, winner Laurens is not here, but for him is driving
Riolo and Marius. So I think the team is fully there.
Yeah, they're still a very fast team. And I think Shek and
Revels.
Jackson Revels will be a real good team, but also I saw some pretty nice time from Richie and GHS from the team CZM.
Yeah, if they trade. Oh wait, Richie just left the server. Let's hope it was just a normal restart. Or made by him at least. He has 1 minute and 40 to come back.
Yeah, so GHS is not here.
Not right now.
No, does he have to drive? I think so.
He was driving, yeah. He did 2 checkpoints and then left. I don't know why.
I hope we're not starting yet.
Well, we two can't do anything about it at least, so let's continue with the teams for now.
Yep.
Another team is Team EDRM, who I was just told is a stadium team driving this Canyon Premiership.
Yeah, I heard that they're a really big stadium team with a lot of members, and they're also competing now in the Canyon ESL Premiership, so that's pretty nice. That's Indeed. Pretty nice to see.
And for them driving is Milke and the guy with the unpronounceable name again. FSXELW.
I saw something about it.
And JHS is still not back. What's happening?
JHS has a problem.
I think the third guy in their team is on Twitch, so if it was a serious problem, he would join the match, I hope, or something. Well, the next team that's driving right now is TWE, with same guys as last week, Sora and Wolf.
They did pretty well last week.
They did, especially Sora, surprisingly, because, well, I think he came something around 6th place.
And I see GHS is coming back. He also had some net loss, like
yes,
she said.
5 seconds until the new map starts, so let's hope he makes it in time. And there he joins, perfect.
Yeah. Hey, Team Furrex! Wow!
If Durex guy joined up, that's nice.
At least one.
And by this, we conclude the warm-up and start the real race. But not without telling you about the last team though, because Team TSC is also here with Crackot and Subtimal. And that would be all the drivers for today, I think.
Started.
So, let's see. I mean, it's going to be the same as always over the first round or first couple of rounds. Can't really tell what's happening because people need to find their flow at first. It's going to take a bit until groups or faces are distinguished.
It has to settle a bit. I see Minigod is leading in front of Rivals and Riolo Marius.
Which can stay like that, if you ask me.
How can Mephisto
also, please don't start chatting.
Yeah.
Well, as you just said that, and as I just wrote a message, the Furex guy crashed. Hopefully not because of me.
No, it was after that.
Okay. That means he is now 14 seconds behind, so he needs to start catching up right now in the first lap already.
Yeah, I'm watching Riolu chasing Minigod. We're pretty close to each other.
And apparently Mario's crashed at one point or something because he's not under the top 3 anymore.
Nope.
And Minigod obviously with the fastest round for now because he was first the entire first round. A 108.9, if that tells you anything.
Yeah, it's just a start. Minigod. made a mistake there, so
Yeah, as we
Riolo
say
takes
that,
the
he
lead.
touched the wall. Minigot falling back to 7th place. That's how close they are right now.
Yeah, Richie and GHS directly following Riolo.
Very close to each other.
And if I'm spectator Marius, I think he will see Richie and GHS in front of him. And
Indeed,
yes.
he does. You can see all three in front of them. Let's see what times they drive on the second lap. I don't think it's going to be a 103, but I'd be surprised if it is. I mean, Riolo is driving in first place now, and he didn't seem to have crashed anywhere in the lap. Sadly, the lap thing is not working yet, so we couldn't tell you. Anyway, we can't tell you that Riolo drove a 104.3 because that's the fastest lap right now.
And GHS is crashed.
Oh, he crashed as well, or I don't know, but back to 7th place.
Yeah.
If you crash in the top places, you lose a lot.
You crash early, indeed, then you fall back really a lot of places. I can't even speak it.
So Minigot with the crash is now to 6th place, and JHS with his crash, the next lap is behind him on 7th place. Minigot is catching up to Shax and Rebels a bit. Another two teammates who are driving ready coach at the moment. And Mini might be overtaking Shax right now, and Rebels in this corner because he has a better line. Oh, and two best times in a row. Riolo drove a 104.2, and that's the first one that showed because he's first place. And Richard drove a 104.1, so he's catching up. And as we told you about the lap times, Mini crashed and is now back to 9th, 10th place.
Yeah, but I don't think Marius didn't. Yeah, Marius also had probably a 104 low. He's not that far behind from Richie.
Yeah.
So that group is pretty close to each other.
There's only 2 seconds between first and third place, so that is pretty close. Richie closing up to Riolo, I think. Only half a second now. Also, there you can see the difference in lights on the dirt. Riolo taking it really wide to probably gain more speed, and Richie taking it and touching the wall.
Don't forget the map is from Richie himself.
So he has the home advantage indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how long he spent building on it, but it's always an advantage.
Indeed.
But nevertheless, you have to drive that fast.
Yeah, building it and being able to drive on it are two very different things.
The gap is getting bigger again because it was half a second and it's now 1 second.
Also, it seems like Shax, who was on the 5th place before crash and got down to 9th place. So Rebels is driving alone right now, followed by JHS. He got back up to 5th.
Marius seems to be losing a bit because he's now 1.5 seconds behind Richie, and that gap was smaller.
Seems to be getting bigger every corner. He's now, what is it, 3 seconds behind Riolo?
Bit weird because I'm watching Richie right now and he's still driving behind Riolo, and the gap seems sometimes to get smaller, but if you look at the times, it isn't.
Well, if you look at the lap time that Richie just did, it could get smaller because Richie did a 103.9 in the 5th lap already. I think that took a bit longer on the other race, but I'm not sure.
Wasn't that the 7th lap?
Something like that, yeah. Was close.
The groups are not that tight to each other as we have seen in the previous group.
Yeah, definitely not. Especially the drivers overall, because the 2 last places are already 45 and 1 minute behind the first place, so you might start seeing the first overlap soon.
Yeah, the 2 Dutch guys from the EDR team. With Nelke and Veskel.
That guy.
What happened there?
I think the...
Was that one of the guys? That's already...
So that means the first overlap just happened. We couldn't see it. And Riolo with a new best time of 103.74. Looks like he's getting away from Richie right now.
Yeah.
The gap is getting bigger to 1.2 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, but after all, again, it doesn't say anything, just a crash and...
Yeah, crashes might happen at every lap, so it doesn't mean that much if you can't keep up.
You see the difference between Richie and Marius? It was 1 second.
Yeah, it was 1 or 2 seconds, and now it's 3.5. Okay.
Is Revels closing in on Marius, by the way?
Not sure. I mean, the gap is a bit more than 2 seconds.
We have to look at the gap. So,
well, in some corners, Rebels can see Marius.
2.4 seconds.
That's 2.4 right
it's
now.
now 2.3. Yeah.
2.6.
It flips all the way. It flips all the way.
It does. Also, one of the ERM guys now got 1 place up to 12th place, overtaking Wolf in the process.
If GAS is driving the same lap times, or maybe a bit slower than Richie, then I think he could close in on Revels. I thought GHS. Oh, Riolo made a mistake. So Richie takes the lead.
One, indeed. He might even get overtaken by Marius, who was 6 seconds behind earlier. Yeah, Marius is catching up big time.
Septimal crash as well, I heard.
Septimal, yeah, he lost speed, but only touched the wall in I don't think he lost the place by that.
Wow, Riolo's losing a lot of time. You have to get your focus back on, because that is really hard.
That means Richie is in first place on this own map, that's nice.
Yeah. Gap is already 4 seconds.
Yeah, the crash was huge apparently.
Marius is not even that far behind.
Yeah, the gap between Riolo and Marius is 1 second now, so he lost 6 seconds, 5 seconds, something around that.
Yeah, that's exactly what we... it's not what we predicted, but you know it's gonna happen. Wow, what happened to Wolf?
I don't know, but he got overtaken now as well. Or overlapped.
Yeah, but he also was overlapped by Nelke, so something happened there.
I don't think he was overlapped by... Where's Nelke?
No, not overlapped, but he was overtaken by Nelke.
That happened some time ago already though.
Yeah.
2 laps. Gaps in the last places are pretty big. There's a 13-second gap between 12th and 3rd, 12th and 13th, and a 15-second gap between 13th and 14th. Oh! Big mistakes in the last corner for both Nelke and was it Wolf, I think?
It was Wolf again. I think that was perhaps some untrained business, I think. Hey!
It looks like it was. Yeah, Wolf crashing again the last corner. That's not looking nice. Marius back to 4th. Oh, I mean Riolo back to 4th place, by the way.
Riolo crashed again?
Apparently.
Oh dear.
He's behind Rebels now.
Yep. Richie's now 6.4 seconds in front of Marius. And 9.6 seconds of Revels, and Riolo lost 10 seconds now. But I think Riolo can overtake Revels again on this lap, but...
Yeah, Riolo's overall a faster driver than Revels, so if he doesn't keep on crashing, he should be at least back to 3rd place.
And GHS is looking at those 2 guys in front of him.
Also, I don't know what happened, but Mini got us back to 11th place. He had another crash as well, apparently.
Yeah.
And as the Twitch says it's because anxiety made him laugh, and he stayed on TeamSpeak. So, it's not good if you stay on TeamSpeak during a match, at least
oh,
not in an open channel.
GHS crashed. And
GHS did indeed, and Riolo takes back 3rd place over Rebels.
Optimal overtook him there.
Yeah, Optimal overtaking GHS and Riolo overtaking Rebels. Also, Richie did a new fastest lap in the last round of 103.5.
Wow, I think that's the fastest lap so far.
For today, at least, yeah. It is a pretty good time, indeed.
Yeah.
I think closest match we have right now is between Riolo and Rebels, because Rebels got 3rd place back already. They are within 0.3 of a second. So the lines don't seem to be... Oh,
If
the lines
anyone...
are a bit different, but not too much.
Oh, Septimo, wow, that was pretty lucky. He made a 360 there.
But he's still driving, so apparently...
Yeah, he was really lucky to get back on his on the right direction.
I don't think he lost the place through it either. He might be, because JHS is catching up to him fast.
He lost some seconds, but not that much.
And Riolo overtook Gravels again. But they're still very close to each other. Oh, Gravels touching the wall a bit, losing speed. Also, I think Marius crashed again as well, because he's now 7 seconds behind Richie.
He was already, so I don't think something has changed there.
But it also means he's not driving faster than Richie.
Nope.
Which isn't good if you want to catch up.
Yeah, Marius was at 4 before, so...
4 seconds difference, so
yeah,
something happened.
And Marius, after all, overtook Riolu and GHS, so...
Also, the gap between Riolo and Rebels is bigger now, with almost 2 seconds. He seems to have gotten himself quite a good lead.
And we're at lap 13, so...
There's already 5 players with more than a minute behind first place, so...
More than even 2 minutes, if you look at the Fixel guy.
Yeah, that's 2 minutes behind. Richie is just overlapping Minigod. And closing in on the Furex guy. And Marius now down to a 9-second difference to first place, so he somehow keeps losing time to Richie. But I mean, we saw that Richie is driving the fastest times overall at the moment, so that might be why.
Yeah, he is taking the lead and holding it, so... If he keeps up making the gap bigger, he can even afford to make a mistake.
If it's not a too big one, he can.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to keep in mind that when you make a mistake, after all, the following round will be hard as well, because you have to focus again.
Yeah. All the muscle memory gone because the speed is different.
Yeah, you're out of your momentum, so... And definitely Richie has a momentum now going. I think GHS and Septimo are pretty close to each other now.
They're within 1 second. I think GHS has been catching up round by round a bit.
Catching up on Septimo. Yeah, we're searching the battles, because I think up front it's now a bit the same the last 5 laps, 5-6 laps.
I think so too. Also, I think Minigod had another crash maybe. He's now 10 seconds behind Code Murray, and he was pretty close to him before. But the gaps in the back are always a bit bigger than in front.
Yeah, I expected GHS to come closer and closer to Septimo, but it seems that the gap
is constant, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're now getting left by Revels. Just another couple of seconds in the last round. That might be an advantage to JHS because Optimal is now driving right behind Mini, and that could distract him.
What can happen, of course, is that Riolu is driving faster than Marius at the moment, and he's closing in on Marius.
Which they don't need, I mean, they're teammates, but still.
Yeah, but
Fight
still,
between places are always nice.
the gap between them is about 2 seconds, and it's getting smaller and smaller.
Yeah, opposed to the gap between first and second, which is getting
Yes.
bigger and bigger.
And I think we now can see the expected overtaking from GHS at Subtimal. I think Subtimal made a tiny mistake because
Yeah,
it
he
was
touched
really
the wall
consistent.
in the tiny road section, so he lost
Yeah.
speed there. Now JHS back to 5th place and Subtimal on 6th. Although they don't seem to be catching up to Minigod or Rebels, so Mini is driving a pretty good pace.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to crash if you want to get... Hey, Subtimal's getting back on GHS.
And Minigod is getting his lap back from Rebels.
Oh, there's a battle going on there.
Indeed. Yeah,
Yeah,
JHS picked that
Subtimal
corner a bit
back.
wrong.
He overtook him. That's funny.
Subtimal back to 5th place.
So they're really fighting for it.
Yeah, and Rebels might get distracted by Minigod now because he's right in front of him.
The gap between Riolo and Marius is now 1 second. It was 2 seconds.
So Riolo is either driving faster than Marius, or Marius touched the wall.
Yeah, but
With the time getting, well, the time difference don't change much, so I guess Riolo is just faster per lap.
yeah, exactly.
And another best time by Richie, 103.41.
Yeah, Richie is
He really knows his
driving
own map.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He took that home advantage and went with it. Now
Yeah.
10 seconds, or almost 11 seconds out of Marius.
if you're 10 seconds in front of Marius in the 18th lap, then... Ooh,
That's
GHS
something.
now makes a big mistake. He was
Oh, he stopped
flying,
completely
yeah.
on the last corner before the finish.
Riolo crashed.
Well, he lost a couple of seconds to Marius.
So,
Doesn't seem too much, so he might have gotten lucky.
yeah. He was closing in
So-
on Marius, but yeah,
Yeah, he lost again.
yes, he has to work on it again.
So Marius just gained 2.5 seconds on Riolo crashing, and Subtimal gained, I think, almost 8 seconds to GHS because GHS stopped completely as well. Rebels is still fighting over the lap with Minigod, though he now, as I said, like,
And Raffles crashed.
getting overtaken by Subtimal in the process,
Oh.
and crashing again. So he also gets overtaken.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's
Let's go
not a
to
lap
Mori,
back.
he's way behind.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
So Subtimal was 7th, now in 4th position. That's not that bad.
Yeah. He has 10 seconds to get back to 3rd if that's his goal, but 5 laps to do that. Without a crash, it's not happening.
Nope. So the gap between Subtimal and Rebels is 5 seconds, and the gap between Subtimal and GHS, they were fighting, remember, with each other, is
It's now 14.
now
Yeah, 14
14
seconds.
seconds. That's a lot.
They're just
That was
actually
only in
closer
3
to
rounds, I
Sora
guess?
behind him now. It
Yeah.
was like 3 rounds ago.
So when you're making mistakes, you can really lose a lot.
Indeed.
But I don't really see Richie making those mistakes.
Oh, he seems really consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just gaining on Marius and Riolo the whole time. He's now 12 seconds ahead already.
Yeah, Riolu is gaining again on Marius. The gap is now 1 second. 1.7 seconds again. It was 3 seconds. And the last player, Vesksel.
FSXELW, or unpronounceable name.
FSX.
Let's just go with FSX,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's already 3.5 minutes behind. So
22 checkpoints. I mean, I think that's more than 3 laps.
yeah,
Where is he driving right now on the field? On the map, I don't see him.
the gap between Riolu is now less than a second. No, I'm sorry. It's a little
1.2.
bit more than a second.
Yeah. He kind of lost it in the dirt for a bit. And Rebel touched the wall again, so that might cost him. That will cost him some time as well.
Yep.
Almost a 13-second gap between Richie and Marius. Whatever Richie is doing, he's doing it awesomely.
Yeah, he's really
That's
trying.
even a word.
Yeah. Then let's make it a word.
Let's just do it. What's the next dictionary? I have a pen.
Yeah, write it down.
Other than that, or other than anything really, there's not really much fighting going on in this race.
Yeah. Really must admit the previous group was a bit more tight than this group.
Yeah, definitely.
The gaps are really big here. If you
There's
see
a 12-second gap from first to second, then we have a 10-second gap from third to fourth, then 14 seconds to fifth, and it's kind of close between Rebels and JHS.
Yeah.
And it's multiple seconds again.
EHS is closing in on Rivals. Riolo crashed into the wall.
Yeah, back a couple of seconds again.
Yeah, every time he seems to be closing in on Mary's.
He loses time again.
Yeah,
But it doesn't seem to hurt him as well, because within like one round or two he just is back up Marius as well.
Yeah, he is quite a big gap on Subtimal, and the gap was 10 seconds and is now only 8 seconds, so he didn't lose that much.
Also, JHS getting within a second distance to Rebels.
That lead from Richie.
13.4 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really amazing. I think he's driving lap times from 103, 104.
Yeah, at least 104.2 consistently.
Yeah.
Also, with only 2 more laps left, then we can call most of the positions by now. The only one I'm not sure with, the only ones that I'm not sure with is 5th and 6th place between Rebels and JHS, because they're within a second. That might change during the last lap, but otherwise than that. Richie's lead now to a full 14 seconds.
Subtimal at exactly 25 seconds. And Rivals at 40 seconds, so that's a big gap. So GHS is still closing in on Rivals. I think that's the battle, the only battle going on.
JHS with more speed at the start might overtake Rebels now. Only 1 more lap to go after this, so Rebels should want to keep on first place. Although JHS just overtook him.
And I think it's already the final lap, so...
It is the final lap for Richie indeed.
Yeah.
Others still have to drive with it, but Richie, well, he's almost done.
It's almost done. 13.9 seconds already.
Yeah, Marius got a bit closer, like 0.1, but... Ah, and he lost it again. Never mind.
And GHS overtook Revels.
Indeed he did. Now getting to the last corner, and Rebels making us take, so GHS will most likely keep that place for the last corner now. Yes, he does.
What a consistent drive he made, Richie.
Oh wait, it's still 1 more lap, I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, and Rebels touching the wall.
And Richie is closing. Almost near the finish now.
And the guy already left without finishing, that's nice.
Yeah.
We
I
was
don't think that
4.5 seconds behind
I
first guy.
don't think that was a net loss, so Richie won.
Indeed he did. The guy should still come back even if it was in last place, because otherwise he doesn't get any points. And because he left on his own, well, can't really ask for help. Also, Mermaid, please don't talk, god damn it.
Marius 14.8.
Yeah, Marius 14.8 seconds behind Richie. Riolo in turn, a bit more than 2 seconds behind Marius. Optima with a 7-second gap between him and Riolo. Next place is JHS. He is another 16 seconds behind Subtimal.
So it's Sora, Shax.
So we're getting to the finish right now. I'm finishing in 7th place. Now we just have to wait for the last couple of drivers to finish. Oh, and just as we start lap 20, or just as we end lap 24, we can see the lap times. And apparently on this last lap, Riello drove a 103.89.
Wow. That's funny.
So for him to stay behind Richie and Marius the whole time, the lap times must have been amazing.
Yeah. Kotomori now finished.
Next guy to finish is Minigod. And Mini finished the last corner. 2 minutes 8 seconds behind first place.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for 3 pairs to finish, so... But actually for 2 because the last guy left.
I see Wolf driving. He still has to drive 9 CPs.
That's...
So
That might be another lap.
that's
Yeah,
another
I think
lap
that's another
indeed.
lap, yeah.
So Nelke is finished. Almost.
Where is Nelke? There he is. Well, he still has a bit to drive. He's on the dirt right now.
Yeah.
Getting into the last piece of concrete before the tiny road. I think we can start wrapping that up for the last lap.
Yep.
So what you'd have just seen is the map, the Group A race on the 3rd lap of the CEP. Winning this time is Richie, followed by both Osomniac guys.
Yeah. So I think the CZM team did a good job, but also I think the Osomniac team took the most points out of it. But
yeah, they do.
I'm checking the other TC member. TC member was Krakow. He was 9th, so Subtimal and was 4th, and his teammate Krakow finished in 9th position.
That is a big gap between 2 teammates as well.
Yeah.
I think the gap between them was almost exactly a minute. Is Wolf still driving? Yes, he is. Just finished.
Yeah, Barry has to go and spec.
There he has to, indeed.
Because they're still driving.
Well, no one is driving right now. I mean, the guy who still is in the list.
Oh yeah, that's
dropped
true.
out,
That's
so.
true. That's true.
And apparently, that's it for him as well.
Yeah.
Can't end the race where you left it. Well, that concludes the 2nd race of the day.
Yeah, that was pretty nice driving from Richie. He drove
Indeed.
very, very fast and very consistent.
To get that much of a lead over Marius and Riolo, that's impressive.
That's really impressive. Yep. We saw some tiny mistakes from Yolo, but yeah,
they added up.
Had some mistakes. Yeah, Marius had some mistakes in the beginning. Later on, he was driving pretty consistent as well. But
yeah, the first couple of laps might be the more difficult because that's when all the cars are still close to each other, and there's a couple of tiny roads on this map.
Yes. So that was Group B. Oh no.
That was Group A. Now
Group A
up,
indeed.
Group B.
Group B is next.
As before, we're going to stop the stream for a bit, or I don't know, YouTube at least. And I will be driving, so I will not be back to commentate the next match. And I hopefully, well, I think Haxa can find someone else. We'll see, or you'll see.
Yeah, we will see. We will find somebody. Oh, so
anyway,
yeah.
Thanks for watching and all that.
And stay tuned. We'll be back with Group B.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.